welcome to the QueenDreamz podcast. QueenDreamz works with ladies of all calibers to help live life by design and not by default. Tune in every Monday for the motivational moments and every Wednesday for Wellness Wednesdays. QueenDreamz brings videos and webisodes to this station every week that is sure to motivate, inspire, and encourage women all across the globe. Thank you in advance. Now, here's your host of QueenDreamz.
Thanks for joining me today for Wellness Wednesday. So we're going to spend time on this mental health moment, ladies. I want to talk to you today about put your mask on, okay? Put your mask on. What does that mean? Great question. When we're talking about covering up, we're covering up to save our lives. We're covering ourselves up to prevent the wrong things from getting in. As we're still moving around, we need to still look beautiful. We need to make ourselves look pretty. Some ladies, that means putting on our makeup still, even though we have to wear these masks. Now, makeup doesn't really make it up, right? What do I mean by that? Makeup doesn't make up for the things that we may be struggling with in this lifetime. Throughout this pandemic era that we're now in depth of, it seems as though domestic violence has become a very growing problem. It's not to say that domestic violence has not already been here, but throughout this pandemic, we're learning of more domestic violence, okay? So I'm going to talk about that, and I'm going to talk about this second part of that. The first part is, if you are in a relationship where you are being physically, sexually, or emotionally abused, and this happens on a recurring basis, your relationship is comprised of domestic violence. Now, that's one part. But let's go back and think about what makes you tolerate that particular activity in your life, in your relationship. It's when we get up and we look at ourselves as women, we look at the exterior most oftentimes because that's what people see in the natural sense. They see the hair, they see the eyelashes, they see the makeup, they see the nails. They see things that would contribute to your external beauty. But what they don't see is your inside. And ladies, I have to say, the makeup doesn't make it up. It's not how tight your dress is that makes you fine. It's not the length of your hair that makes you pretty. It's not the color of your eyes, your eyelashes, the makeup, the accents, the eyeliner, the mascara. It's not any of that makes you attractive. It's going to be what you think, your confidence level, that makes you attractive. It's going to be the favor that you wear on your life. It's going to be the internal things that exude a beautiful character. So that's why I say makeup doesn't necessarily make it up. What makes up is how you feel about yourself, how you see yourself, how you interact with yourself, what you believe about yourself. It's again, how you see yourself, how you feel about yourself, how you interact with yourself, how you carry yourself, your inner confidence level. That's what's really going to make up how you choose to interact in a domestic violence-ridden relationship, okay? Domestic violence has risen since the pandemic because people are taking a second look at whether they want to be in these relationships. And ladies, if you're in a relationship where the man is, or your partner is hitting you, kicking you, spitting on you, interacting or engaging with communication with other women in front of you, that is so inappropriate. We have to stop. We have to ask ourselves, what are we doing? Why are we in this relationship? That's an internal discussion you need to have, because whether we have long hair, short hair, big bottoms, low bottoms, big tops, low tops, all the makeup in the world, the MAC, the Sephora's, the best ofs. Makeup doesn't make it up. You have to decide inside, internally, why am I allowing this to happen in this in this span of my life? Why am I entertaining this relationship? What is it about this person that I feel strongly that I need to sit here in this relationship and accept this type of treatment? What is it about the individual that I cannot seem to walk away from? What keeps me in this relationship? All great questions. Here are some of the answers. People stay because of children, number one. Well, let me back up. People stay because of finances, number one. A lot of times, women remain in domestic violence relationships because they feel like the finances is something that they cannot walk away from. Again, ladies, if you're being emotionally, physically, or sexually violated, assaulted, or abused, that's domestic violence. Physically hitting someone is assaulting that individual. It's very destructive. Verbally lacerating a person is very destructive. It's a moral injury that tends to stick. Have you ever heard some people say before, I can heal from a physical wound, but sometimes words last a lifetime. Life and death is truly in the power of the tongue. That's Proverbs 18:21. It truly is. But ladies, the next scripture is Proverbs 18:22. He that finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. So if you're in a marriage where you're being physically abused and you have domestic violence within your home and within your relationship pretty often since the pandemic, that individual doesn't see you as a good thing or recognize that they've obtained that favor from above. So ask yourself, even though you get up and you may put on makeup, and nowadays makeup with a mask, makeup doesn't make it up. It doesn't make it okay. Makeup will never make it up. Long weaves will never make up the internal anguish that you may be suffering through because you just don't see yourself as the beautiful jewel that you are in the natural sense of things. I want to encourage you always to take a look at yourself so you can recognize that you are God's gift. You are that jewel. You are a special entity. You are a queen. And you don't need to accept being beaten, being emotionally beaten. You don't need to accept physical, emotional, or sexual abuse. You don't need to be sexually assaulted in your own relationship. You don't need to be disrespected in front of your children. Your children don't need to be unsafe in their own home throughout this health crisis that we're already dealing with. Not only are we dealing with a health crisis, some and many individuals right about now are dealing with other crises right within their home. They're dealing with the two words called domestic violence. Just so you know, in the work that I do, I've seen domestic violence numbers rise because of the following reasons. What was once in the dark has now come to be exposed in the light, which means the individual that was once having that affair on the side is no longer apt to just get around and move around, because now, if you live in this particular state that I operate from, in particular the city that I operate in, this city is being requested to go back on to only essential movement, to stay home again, because the pandemic numbers have risen in our local area. So if that affects you, then your partner may not have as much access to that other individual as they once did before, hence making them angry, and you become the direct beneficiary of that anger. So please, ladies, let's take a look at, while we're getting up, while we're putting on our makeup. Makeup doesn't make it up. Hair doesn't make it up. Trying to get your body readjusted to make someone happy doesn't make it up. Different color weaves and wigs don't make it up. It doesn't. You have to decide that you no longer want to deal with that. You have to decide you are worth more, so that when you do put your makeup on, you will feel beautiful like the person you really are. The goal is simple. Every week I come to you to do 3 things: encourage, motivate, and inspire you to live life by divine design and not default. Again, Queen Dream comes to you just to live life by design and not default. Defaulting would mean that you are accepting domestic violence as being okay. So remember, every morning when you get up and put your makeup on, as you're looking in the mirror, you're putting on your eyelashes, your eyeliner, your mascara, your eyelid makeup, you're drawing your pencil in. You can look pretty all day long, but if that person doesn't see you as the beautiful gift that you are, makeup doesn't make it up. It doesn't. Think about me when you put your makeup on tomorrow. But more importantly, if you leave your home, put your mask on to stay safe. We need you to be here. We need your kids to be here. Your family needs you here. It's not about political. It's not about a political stance to have anyone be controlled by wearing masks. It's more about preservation of life for yourself, those that care about you, and just your general, your citizen in this world, in your city that you live in, your local community. Covid-19 is not something that we see, so let's help each other out. Let's mask up while we put our makeup on and we look like the jewels that we are. But again, ladies, makeup doesn't make it up. If you are dealing with domestic violence, help yourself. Help your children. Preserve your life and get help. There are lots of numbers you can call if you need help with domestic violence situations. If you don't know of those numbers, feel free to reach out to me on any of my social media portals. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to assist. In the meantime, you can meet me here every week. If we're connected on Facebook, I do a Facebook on Mondays. But I usually will come before you to bring you some Wellness Wednesday mental health moments where I share about subjects such as this. Until next time, thank you for listening. Do 3 favors for me. Like, share, and subscribe on my channel so that we can grow. We want to grow as a community just to do, again, 3 things. Help women to live life by design and not default, while we motivate, encourage, and inspire. See you next time. QueenDreamz. Thank you.